All right, as always, thanks for joining. Well, today I've got Dan from Whitetail Warriors Deer Camp. He lives right near me, and we decided to do a little collaboration, so we're shooting a video today, and we are going to be talking about YouTube monetization. And Dan and I both recently got monetized, and we both struggled a lot to get our money. And we'll just kind of talk through some of the cool things, what kind of got us into doing YouTube and what keeps us doing YouTube, and then kind of some of the pitfalls and the struggles we had getting paid, honestly. So
hopefully some of you might learn something, or you guys with the experience, you already went through it.
So Dan, tell me a little about your channel, kind of what started you in YouTube, and what it kind of keeps you going.
What started me was watching J&J True Outdoors.
Okay, yeah.
Carl's Off the Grid,
okay,
out of Wisconsin, and Camp Benny.
Oh yeah.
Them three channels right there inspired me to give it a shot. I didn't go into it to try to retire from my job. I went into it for the fun of it, just to see how it would go. Never in a million years did I dreamt that I would hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. But no, it's just about me at my camp and basically deer hunting and what I do up north at my deer camp and the property I have permission to hunt down here, and a few odds and ends every time I go to camp in the spring. And I don't do nothing wild and crazy like you do yet, but no, I just, them three channels, them three guys got me started into YouTube.
And we talked a little bit about like how we started a little bit, but it doesn't take a big fancy camera or 8 different cameras. Nowadays cell phones are so powerful. You could start your channel with just your cell phone, with just a GoPro. You look at huge channels like Kendall Gray. Kendall Gray has got, I think, like over 1 million subscribers, and he films with just like 2 GoPros. And so it's proof you don't have to have a bunch of whole fancy equipment and editing software. I mean, you can do everything with just a cell phone.
Yeah, I started with this. I still use it. Up until a year and a half ago, I upgraded to a $200 camera it's a Sony from Amazon. However, I still do all my editing with my phone.
Yeah.
There's a app on here, and I still use this.
What app do you use?
It's the iMovie app.
Okay.
Right there.
So do you download your videos off of your camera and then put them onto your phone then?
Yeah, I take whatever I use on this, and then I take that and I load it into here.
This thing.
I load it into here. But however, doing videos and stuff really takes, I've bought more storage, and it's still, I have to delete some apps on here to do a video, and then bring the apps back when I'm not doing a video. But it does chew up a lot of space.
Oh, I bet.
You know, at first, like right now, I can only average like 25-30 minute videos, because it won't take it all with all the other stuff I have on there.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yes, I still use, I started with this.
Yeah. So it's awesome to know that you can not only film, but you can edit and upload straight from your phone. Like I said, you don't need you don't need a laptop, you don't need 10 cameras.
No.
So if it's something you want to do, I mean, just start doing it. Just hit record and start going. So what are some of the things that you like most about filming your stuff for YouTube?
To go back and watch it, you know, and maybe someday if I ever have grandkids, I can show them. Or like the other night, there's nothing usually on TV anymore, you know, so I usually go back and watch how I started out and all the mistakes I made, and I still make mistakes. I think everybody does, but just the fun of it, really.
Yeah.
You know, I've always wanted to film my deer hunts, and I like doing that. But only downside is you gotta lug all that stuff in with you, the tripod, the camera.
Oh yeah.
And then now I found out too, the cold weather eats these batteries. So I bought me a miniature charger thing.
Yeah.
And it'll charge this, it'll charge the camera, so But yeah, you gotta have some type of, when it's cold out, it eats it up.
Oh yeah.
But no, I just like going back looking, and I like, I go back and watch your stuff. I like to watch other people's stuff when they first started out.
Oh yeah.
You can tell, for an example, Ben from Camp Benny, how his progress with all the you can tell he's using better equipment now than he was when he first started.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for a number of years. So I mean, and it's cool. That's one of my favorite things too. Like, I love recording our deer camp and our hunting, so that not just me but everyone else at camp can kind of relive that. Like, we will sit up at camp and debate, like, oh, that was this year. Like, nope, we'll just go back. Nope, it was 2018 when that happened. And we don't show some of the antics that happen at camp because that just needs to stay at camp. But a lot of the stuff, I mean, it's just fun to document it. My kids think it's funny to mock me behind the scenes, and they'll watch some of the videos, not too many of them, but they'll watch some of those videos. Even my goddaughters who are upstairs, they watched one of the videos and just thought it was so funny to see their uncle and their aunts in the background and stuff. So I love just sharing it with family. It's always fun.
Yeah, it's just another hobby.
Yeah.
And it's not a real expensive hobby.
Yeah.
Like you said, we can use our phones. You don't need $1,000 camera to do it. So.
Yeah. And it does help, but at the same time, it doesn't. Like I said, Kendall Grace filming with 2 GoPros. You don't need a big, expensive, crazy camera or anything like that. And so many of them that I watch literally are just filming with their phones. Mm-hmm. Like 90% of the videos is them filming with their phones. So,
however, I do want to learn. I'm not the computer guy, but I do want to learn how to edit on my laptop.
Yeah.
I do want to learn that, so I can do it up north and not I need phone service or whatever. Because when I'm up north, I'll have probably over 100 hours worth of stuff.
Oh yeah.
That I got to dwindle down to. That's why my deer camp stuff is 4 or 5 segments. Because I got to dwindle that. Because my
can't
phone.
Put it all in your
no,
phone.
I can't put. Even if I didn't have no apps, it wouldn't take that much. And it's. But that's the only bad thing.
And there's a lot of cool video apps, video editing apps. I know I use DaVinci Resolve, and it's a free one. There's another one called CapCut. If you have a Mac computer, there's iMovie you can still use, and then there's another one. I can't remember what it's called on Macs, but there's so many great free apps out there. And I have been drawn to DaVinci Resolve, but I was just watching a video about this CapCut, and it's supposed to be really easy to use and get into. So there's free softwares out there. You don't even have to pay for the software. So some really cool stuff. Why don't you tell me, what are some of your highlights from this last season?
Finally getting a kill, even though I didn't have my camera zoomed all the way in. Getting that on film was my highlight. That particular moment where I seen it walking in, and the butt stock of my gun hit my tripod, and I thought that was the end of it, and it stayed there, and that was a highlight.
And I think that's something that's so overlooked. There's so many people, and I know, like, Dan and I are hunting like in woods, thick woods, and a lot of times we don't know those deer are coming until they are like already there. So to be able to get your camera over, get it on the deer, get your gun or your bow or anything drawn on it, like, it's a
without making much of movement.
It's a gamble. And my initial thought is always, and I'm out there to hunt, so my initial priority is get that animal down. And if I can get it on video, great. But it is difficult. Like, the only reason I got my doe kill on video this year was because my brother-in-law was in the tree with me and he pointed the camera. And I've missed so many shots on deer because it's not easy. And if you think it is, good luck. Try it out for yourself.
Yeah, it's like, especially you talk about big woods up in the UP. It's thick.
Yeah.
And I seen legs coming, and then he got out, and I saw he had 5, 3 on one side and 2, but at the time I'm like, I wasn't even worried about the camera because I already knew the camera was facing that runway. Yeah. And I'm like, man, that's it, and then I got the gun and excitement, and I'm like, oh, and he didn't move, but no, that was the highlight of mine, is finally getting one on film.
Yeah, and that's a great accomplishment. Like I said, it takes a while. It's like, it's nerve-wracking like you said, trying to make sure you're getting everything else done and the cameras like that other thing in the background. So.
Now I will say, I wouldn't have got it on film if I hadn't had upgraded to this other camera, because this wouldn't have zoomed out even that far, and I didn't have a tripod setup for this like I do now. But I still say you could still use these, don't get me wrong, but if I would have just had that, I wouldn't have got what I got.
Yeah.
But no, that was the highlight of my YouTube so far, was that, and also hitting 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Which I never dreamt in a million years I'd get that far.
Which is cool. Dan and I both hit 1,000 around the same time. We were both. He was chatting with me, trying to figure out how to do it, and I struggled, and I had issues. I didn't get. It's been, I think, about 4 or 5 months from the time I was able to get paid until I actually could, because I struggled, and I know you struggled.
Yep.
So tell me about some of the struggles.
There's a chat thing with YouTube. I was chatting with them. Of course, like you said earlier, they can't really help you. They can steer you in the right direction, but they're not really going to help you.
Yeah, they're not jumping on your phone or your computer and doing it for you.
YouTube isn't doing it. It's, what's that?
AdSense.
AdSense is doing it. So AdSense they'll send you email, and then you got to go on and register. And what I found out was, when I first hit 1,000, that you got to have, first of all, you don't get paid till you hit $100.
Yeah.
So then I found out you can't really register your information until you have $100 for them to send you. And they're going to send you I'll get ahead of myself, but then I got all my information squared away, and then I got an email stating you're all set, payments are this, and this, and yeah. But now when they pay you whatever's in your account.
Yeah, all in one lump sum.
Yeah, all in one lump sum, which I wasn't too happy with, because I wanted it to be X amount of this, or just keep it all in there for next deer season.
Yeah.
But they sent me a check. I got a check on my first check on the 21st of January. So.
Which is cool.
And then I just got an update. I'll be getting, I'm sure you too, the 21st of February. They're supposed to go out.
Yeah.
And what they do is they direct deposit it into your bank account.
And I for me, it was cool to get that money. I mean, I've invested, I don't want to say hundreds, probably thousands of dollars in equipment, which is ridiculous now that I look back on it, but it's a hobby for me. I've used it to film my hunts and create memories for not only me, my family. I've filmed my niece's weddings. I filmed a good friend of ours' wedding. So those are memories that will last a lifetime, and I think that investment's been worth it. But we're definitely not doing it to make money, because it's not like you're getting a big $1,000 check or something.
No.
But one of the things I know you've gotten some is like some free products.
Yeah.
Which is always cool to kind of get a company that reaches out to you and says, "Hey, I see what you're doing, and how about you test this?" I know you've tested a few things. What do you think?
They send emails. Okay, well, the first one I did was that portable saw. Okay, well, the email came and I was a little suspicious. Okay, because I got the email. It showed it came through at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, well, is this legit?
Yeah.
So I answered the email when I got to work at 6:30 in the morning, and didn't hear nothing until 3 o'clock in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I contacted J&J, and I contacted Ben from Camp Benny, and this stuff's coming from China.
Yeah.
So then Camp Benny, or Juddy, because he did the same saw before I got it.
Yeah.
He said, yes, that's legit. They're coming from China. So I responded, yes, blah, 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 but never heard back till the next day. Well, the next day, they asked me for my address, and 3 days later, they were at my doorstep. They were delivered by FedEx. So then time went by, then I got another email that says, would you be interested in doing a review on these Cal boots?
Yeah.
And so I said, yes. But the only bad thing about doing those boots was it's not hunting season.
Yeah.
And So I did my best, waited kind of for some cold, and we hardly had any snow all winter down here. Hardly no cold weather to speak of.
Yeah.
So I went out and they're waterproofed and walked through the creek and the mud, and they said they're rated for negative 68 degrees. I will never be able to test that, but I am going to wear them next deer season and give another review next fall on. But the only thing I didn't like about them was they're not as tall as my lacrosses, but they're comfortable boot. But yes, they reached out with some emails, and when you get them at odd times, because they're coming from another country.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how that went through.
It's kind of cool, you know, to get kind of recognized. You know, it's something that you didn't go out. I know when I first got an email like that, I was like, same sort of thing. I'm like skeptical. I'm like, well,
yeah,
they're not asking for bank account info, so I'm like, let's do it. Let's see what happens. And I was surprised at some of the products I've gotten. I've actually turned away a few. I've even done some videos where I've got the product in, and then I just turn around like, listen, I'm giving my honest opinion, and you don't want my honest opinion to be on YouTube. So I've just sent them a nice email, said, here's what I think of your product. You want me to do a review video? And they're like, no, if you could not do one. I'm like, okay, fine, I won't do one. And, you know, what do you want to do with the product? I'm like, you keep it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. But I've got a few really cool ones. I've got a couple. I've got a night vision binocular, a scope, and right now I have some walkie-talkies a company sent me.
There you go.
To play around with, which we like that because up where we hunt, a lot of times there's almost no cell service, and we're going to try those out this season. But
yeah, so I got them emails, and like I said, I reached out to them guys to see if they were legit, because they've been doing it.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think Ben's up to 10,000 subscribers, and Juddy's at 5,000 or 6,000, and they've done these reviews. So I reached out to the guys that, you know, and they said, yeah, it's legit.
So it's kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of a little side bonus, and you know, don't get me wrong. Like, I appreciate getting the free stuff, but we're working hard to get those free things. It's not like you just slap together a video. You've got to do some actual research on the product and, you know, test it out. And, you know, so I'm doing some work every time I make one of those videos. I'm not just getting a free product for free. In reality, I'm doing some work for them, proving their product. And a lot of times I think they come to us smaller channels so that they can refine the product, so that when they can send it to some bigger channel, they don't want to have the big channel guy test their product and find out it's garbage. So it kind of works in our favor, I think. So
yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I will say the hardest thing about doing a YouTube channel, I don't know about you, but is the editing part.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's, I think, is the hardest. Sometimes I wonder, is it worth it? But it takes me a while to edit something. That could be just me, but I think that's the hardest part, is learning how to edit.
I spend hours on a video, like, for sure. Like, I mean, just depending on what it is. A review video sometimes isn't as bad, but sometimes they can actually be worse. And for me, I want to have 5-6 different clips and trying to edit those in, and I can spend easily 10 or 12 hours editing a video over time. I mean, this video in the background, don't even ask me how many hours I have into editing that stupid thing. That will be coming out soon. But yeah, it's something I enjoy as a hobby, and I think, and I've told myself this, I think if it ever becomes work for me, I'm done.
Yep.
Because I don't need another job. I work hard enough.
Yep.
But if I stop enjoying it, I'll just stop. But right now, I'm definitely enjoying it.
I sit at home thinking of what I could do next, because I'm not. That's the thing. My cabin's 6 hours away.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not at $3.50 or $4 a gallon. I'm not driving up there all the time. You know, and it's, what do I have down here to do or whatever. And a buddy of mine asked me to go shed hunting this week, so I think I'll take it out with me and we'll go shed hunting this week down home. You know, but I enjoy mainly doing them up north at my place.
We want to see that Raven crossbow, 100 yards.
That's another story.
I do that, so I actually keep a log, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 videos, 11 video ideas anyway. Like, every time I'm thinking, like, oh yeah, that, and I'll run downstairs, I'll put it on my list, and, like, you know, I may never do some of these. Some of these have been on my list for over a year, but it's just an idea, so that if I got some time, like, all right, I can think on something I'm going to do for that.
That would have to probably be done up north, because I don't have, you know, I don't know where to do it down here, you know. But it's been, you ain't the first person that's asked. But I want to kill a deer with it first before I do something like that. I had 2 chances last year and I blew it.
Yeah.
But, you know, the first one I didn't have pulled back far enough.
Oh, no?
No, I didn't. It's got that crank, that sled that it's supposed to come all the way back, and I got this 8-point standing at 50 yards, wondering what the hell am I doing, you know. And then the next one I called in with that buck decoy I had out there, right over his back. So I will kill a deer first with that crossbow before I try a 100-yard shot. But I will never shoot a deer.
Oh yeah, no.
Far, but I will try that.
It's like I shoot. I don't have my bow. My bow's in my truck. I actually got to take that to the bow shop this week. But that's actually become one of my favorite things is shooting long distance.
Well, you're good at a bow.
I enjoy it.
Practice a lot.
During probably about June, I'll start. I'm able to shoot about 40 yards in my yard, so I will shoot basically every day. I come home, drop my stuff off, run outside, and I'll shoot between 6 and 30 arrows, just depending on the day. And I just love shooting. It isn't even about the hunting part of it for me. It's just I love shooting. So the ironic part about it is, like, I'm great if and my brother-in-law will harass me all the time. I'm great. If you want me to put an arrow down a pipe, I can do it. You want me to shoot a deer? Yeah, I'll put it 4 inches over its back all day long, it seems like.
It's a whole new ball game when you got a live target standing there versus...
No. I've got 1 deer with a bow. That's it. 6-pointer 2 years ago. And I've missed and unfortunately wounded a few, and definitely put arrows over and under a few. That heat of the moment. And then add trying to get it on film. I'm already struggling to even shoot the deer, let alone get it on camera. So,
I
but
hear you.
I enjoy every moment of it. Every single moment of it, I enjoy it. So.
No, but getting back to the thing, my advice is for somebody has never done it, I'd say try it. It may not be for you, or you may love it. Yeah. You know, it don't hurt to try, because it ain't gonna cost you nothing. Everybody nowadays has these phones. What would we do without a phone? But take your phone out and then go to YouTube and boom, boom, boom. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't gotta do it. Yeah,
I agree with you, and that's the one thing too. I would say, if you think of something you want to do, try it without spending any money. Don't go buy the Sony camera or the GoPro. Just try it out with your cell phone, and then if the bug gets you, then start investing. Start building up ideas and stuff like that, and just put out your content.
Yeah, because it was probably a year and a half before I bought the camcorder. Yeah. But I didn't spend a lot of money on that either. You know, just $200.
I think the first year that I filmed with a little handy cam that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace. I met some lady up at the Target and paid $50 for the camera, and I think I shot my first, 10 videos with that camera. You know, and it works great. And cell phones they're ridiculous. Now they make mounts. You can put them on your bow. You can just put it on the camera arm nowadays. So such great options. So
yeah, don't hesitate. If you want to try it, don't hurt to try it, and it don't cost you nothing.
Yeah,
that's what my advice would be.
Well, that was cool. Kind of shared both of our stories kind of on YouTube, and hopefully you guys have got some good thoughts and ideas out of that. Hopefully we've been a help. You can always check out Dan's channel. There will be a link down in the description, and probably a link over here to some of his content. And as always, thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.
And like Jeremy says, thanks for sticking around.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no
that
problem.
was